The sun is going down, but I wanted to make another video. So I've glued a couple more pieces together and let's check it out. I do want to show the build process in detail. So I guess my intentions is to have several relatively short videos, somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, and just kind of break down the process and show you my blunders as I go along. I did make one, an oversight actually, but I'll show you all about it. So just the other day, I glued the side panel to the bottom half of the front baffle. I've got a internal brace that's glued on. So let's check out. I was so excited. Rather than cut this panel down to the proper width that the enclosure is going to be, I figured I'd leave a little extra, attach this, which would make this easier to secure, more glue joint, everything be better. What I didn't realize is that the clamps that I have are not very deep. There's only an inch and a half, inch and a quarter worth of gripping space. And that bottom panel is bigger. Now I do have one clamp that's long, but I only had the one, and I don't have the budget to go buy a bunch of clamps. So what I did was I just notched this piece so my clamp would fit. It's gonna look tacky. It's gonna drive me crazy, but it's what I decided to do so that I had clamping force. Because none of my wood is straight, this bottom piece has got a little bit of a wow to it. So what ended up being was that there was a gap, and so I located the few clamps that I have biased towards the area where the bottom panel was bowed down. The front's nice and tight, and so my glue joint, I got glue leak out the sides everywhere once I clamped it that way. At the front, I just located my clamps periodically. I've got one clamp. It is nice that I can pinch real tight against this seam. Lots of glue joint there. I'm really excited about that. Because of how big and heavy all of this is, I don't really have the ability to put screws in from underneath, and trying to finagle this massive enclosure around is kind of tedious. I've got a pretty nice vise, and I just decided that I would just quickly clamp this vise to the edge and apply, I don't know, that vise is 40 or 50 pounds or something. It's heavy. And that supplies enough weight to kind of make sure that that bottom stays nice and tight for the glue to dry. So yeah, let's see. So there's 4 pieces glued. All of this over here has not been glued. That's all got one screw in it. But I'm gonna let this dry because I've almost consumed all of my wood clamps. Once this dries, the next step I think will be this piece here. And so I'll glue these to this and get them as true and square as I possibly can, both of these guys. And once those are dry, then I'll probably glue these 3 pieces on. This is the bracing that goes inside the port. Let's see here. I'm going to use these panels. These are going to go for side bracing. You'll actually go this direction, like this. And this will go just like this. And I think that we're gonna attach these to here. I'm gonna glue them before I install all this so that that whole assembly can go in, and then I can screw this piece to the side. I'll be able to apply weight, because this will be flipped over. I'll be able to apply weight here to get a good glue joint up here that will end up being somewhere down in that area there. What else? Yeah, and I think that it'll be ideal to glue these on because I can screw from the bottom while it's external and removed, and then just set it in place, apply some weight, what clamps will fit where, glue it, and then the top part of the port, which is this panel here, I'll be able to just set that right on, and it'll rest right on those, and then I'll be able to screw down from the top and pull everything tight. I think that that's my plan. Yeah, so just wanted to make another video, and every couple of steps, and then I'll discuss it. In hindsight, really, I wish that I would have just trimmed down this main piece to be the exact width. It would have been much easier to work with. I don't know that there's any structural integrity or value there. One thought I did have is that I actually think that what cabling needs to run from the front to the back of the vehicle is probably going to be ran along one of these sides, and it'll actually give me like securing locations. I can put like cable clamps or something and rest the cables there. So my first thought was I was gonna mount the amplifiers to this back wall. As time goes by, I'm thinking more likely one of these side panels, because well, I guess the first thought I have is if I put speaker terminals at the very back, it's going to be really hard for me to reach through all the bracing to secure wires or to mess with it. But if I put speaker terminals down here, I'll be able to access them easily and feed the wires where they'll need to go. So if I just have the amp rack in the back, the battery bank in the back, and then I'll have space to mount amplifiers on one side or the other, and then the sliding door will give me access to all that nice and easy. I think that that's the plan, but therefore I may end up using these bottom monstrosities to help lay cable, whether it's power cable run from the battery bank down and then over and up to the amp, something like that. Yeah, every couple days a little bit more progress, a little more glue, and appreciate any of you who ever watched this video. So on to the next one.